Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This is comic book haul number 60. Can't believe I'm already up to number 60. Well, I figure I would do it the classic way, just showing the book and not myself. So why don't we get started? We'll start off with a few raw books. I don't buy raw books that often, but I do have a few. Here we have House of Mystery 206, classic Bernie Wrightson cover. Let me see if I can move it a little closer to the screen without getting too much glare. There we go. All right, I know sometimes people complain about the quality of my videos, but look, this is something I do as a little thing. This is not my job. You know what I mean? And I understand that for other people, they also do this as a little thing and it's not their job. But, take it for what it is. Here is X-Men number 56. Nice upgrade to that book. Always upgrading my X-Men this year so far. In addition to some of these books, I'm heavily upgrading. This is going to be the year where I heavily upgrade my Spider-Man books. Here is Adventures into Weird Worlds number 8. A nice 8.0. Yeah, right. A nice 4.0 copy. I doubled the grade, the estimated grade, because I know sometimes people, when you give them a grade on a raw book, they freak out, because I'm not a professional grader, An estimated 4.0. Really cool cover. One that I think does not get that much credit. It's really nice. Guy having a nightmare about these things, and then when he wakes up, these things come out of his nightmare. Almost like Freddy Krueger. And the other Adventures into Weird Worlds, this is probably like a 5.0, an estimated 5.0, excuse me. Number 29. I think the next issue, I don't remember. Is it the next issue that's the last one? I don't know. But I thought this was a pretty cool one. Another Manili cover, I believe. Yeah, Manili. Where this guy's getting pressed into this, I don't know, the ground with all these skeletons that appear to be waiting for him. And his foot is halfway, well, his leg is halfway through almost, and it's turned into a skeleton. So I think that's pretty interesting. You can't really see it that well from the distance from the computer. But now you can. And the last raw book for this video, and this is going to be a raw book for a little while longer before I send it to CGC, a nice upgrade to my Amazing Spider-Man number 9. This is an estimated 6.0 copy. Well, we'll see. When I get it back from CGC, I think I'll send it within the next month, and we'll see. I say it's a 6.0. When it comes back, I'll put it in another haul video, and we'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, and I've been right before. All right, so that's the end of the raw books. All right, we got a lot to go through. A lot of upgrades and a couple new additions. So here we have as an upgrade, Haunt of Fear number 15, is it right? It's actually the second 15. The first 15 is considered the first issue that came out in 1950, but, for those that know EC, you'll know what I'm talking about. I upgraded to a 5.5. I had a 4.5. Not a big upgrade, right? But I hated that 4.5 I had. I absolutely hated it. So when I saw the opportunity to upgrade it, I upgraded it to this 5.5. Just bear with me as I move these around. I got a couple more vaults. Here we have an upgrade to my 4.5 Vault of Horror 36. We have a 5.5 right here. This is the Opium story. I forget what the story was called, but it's known as the Opium story. And here's another, the last of the Vault of Horrors upgrades, also a 5.5, number 38. This is a nice 5.5, honestly. It's better than the 36, in my opinion. The 36 is a, not such a nice 5.5, in hindsight. But this is pretty cool. Oh. All right. Moving along. Now, this has appeared on my Instagram page months ago, but it hasn't appeared in an official comic book haul. I don't think, at least. Sometimes I forget. I don't do comic book hauls that often, so just bear with me. Here we have, moving this. Here we have Marvel Tales 116, a nice 5/5 copy. And some say it's the first appearance of Werewolf by Night. Now, it's obviously not the hero version of Werewolf by Night, the Jack Russell, but it's a pretty cool cover, and I believe it's another Meneely cover. You know, Joe Meneely has done a lot for Atlas, which is what Marvel used to call itself in the 1950s, from the early 50s all the way to the early 60s, I believe. Here we have a classic one. We have Marvel Tales 124. Really, really cool zombie cover. This was in The Seduction of the Innocent. I believe it's a seduction. Let me read what the thing says. It says right here, yeah, this book particular, there's a few of them. Quite a few of them, actually. Maybe one day I'll get more of them. But this was used in the Senate Subcommittee on Juvenile Delinquency, this book. I don't know why. I mean, you know, this book is okay. This cover is okay. It's nothing that's like, oh, wow, this is really something. You know, but still pretty cool. All right, now, here's another nice upgrade, but for all you superhero fans, all right? For those that get sick of seeing all my precodes and all that stuff. Now, I believe I showed this, I think I showed this in another haul video, but it was raw. And this is where I was saying when I make my predictions, I thought it would be at a 7.0. Apparently, it came back a 6.5, which I still don't understand how it got a 6.5. But this is a really, really nice book. I think it was at least a 7.0. But then again, though, as I stated in the beginning of the video, I am not a professional grader. But here we have Fantastic Four First Appearance of Black Panther. A nice upgrade from my previous copy that I bought about 10 years ago. I think that was like a 4.0, maybe 4.5. Well, got a 6.5 now. And yes, one day this will be upgraded to a 7.5 because I think that's my sweet spot when it comes to this book. Now we have a few mystics to show. This is a first-timer in my collection. We have Mystic 21, The Honeymooners. I think this is a really cool cover. A headless guy bringing in his, skeleton wife. Pretty cool cover. Not bad. Let me just get these out of here. I can't fit too many of these slabs on this stand here. Now here's a really cool Mystic. And really nice for the grade too. It's a 4.0, but I don't see why this is not a 5.0, but that's just me. But anyway, here we have Mystic 26, the decapitated cover. Let me see if I can show you. You're getting too much of the glare, but you see, that's a pretty cool cover. And the black in the background, it really, really looks cool. And the guy serving the head, and the guy standing behind the guy that's getting served. I mean, this is a pretty cool cover, and I think one that sometimes flies under the radar when it comes to Mystic covers. Now here we have a nice upgrade. We have Mystic 28. This is probably the most popular Mystic cover. I had a 4.0, and it's not easy upgrading this book. It's hard to find in this grade, and it could be pricey, but it was nice to finally get a 5.0. I've had 4 copies of this over the years. All right, we still have another pile, so just bear with me. Here's a book I picked up on the cheap from a short box auction a few months back. I had a really low grade copy of this. I mean, this is still kind of low grade. It's a 4.0, but it's nice. It's nice looking for a 4.0. But I had a really low grade copy of this I bought years ago, and I sold it last year. And I said, one day if I see it again, I'll get it. And I saw this on auction, got it real cheap. And here we have it. Hand of Fate, number 9. It looks very similar to Tales from the Crypt, number 20, where somebody's carving somebody's name on a tombstone, and the person walking by says, "Oh my God, that's my name, and that's the date. Today's the day." So it has some similarities with that. That's why I purchased this book to begin with. Here's a really cool book that I picked up recently. Journey into Unknown Worlds, number 26. Now, I think that this is a better zombie cover than the Marvel Tales 124. It's a 4.0. One day I'd like to get a 6.0 of this. But I've always known about this book, but then an opportunity came up for me to buy it, and I said, it was cheap enough, so I bought it. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I love the way the zombie's drawn here. It's a Harry Anderson cover, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a Joe Maneely. Harry Anderson has done a lot of great work for Atlas in the 1950s, and this is one of them. So yeah, this is a really cool book. Come with us into a haunted house. Here's another superhero one, everybody. I told you this was going to be the year where Spider-Man is being upgraded. Well, here we have Amazing Spider-Man number 11. It's a 6.0, so it's a decent upgrade from my 4.0 copy, raw copy that I had. I sold that off and I purchased this one. Here's an interesting one. It's another Atlas book, Uncanny Tales 26. This is, I guess, one of those prototype issues, or at least in name only, not necessarily character. But won't you step into the parlor and feast your eyes on the Spider-Man? Uncanny Tales 26, the Spider-Man story. About a good 8 years before Spider-Man showed up as a superhero at Marvel. So I thought this was a pretty cool book. I know a lot of people sometimes try to sell that for big money because, oh, it's mentioned Spider-Man. Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man. Let's be honest. It is not Spider-Man. If you don't have Amazing Fantasy 15, you don't have Spider-Man. Doesn't matter how many prototypes you have. This is a cool one. This is International Crime Patrol number 6. I remember this book was, it's the plague of death, and this guy is spreading plague to everybody. I remember during COVID, this book spiked in price because of the subject matter on this cover. But this is really cool. You know, with EC. The title of the series was International Comics up until number 5, and then with number 6 it became International Crime Patrol, and then with number 7 it became Crime Patrol, and then with number 17 it became The Cryptid Terror, and then finally with issue 20 it became Tales from the Crypt. But this is a pretty cool cover, really nice looking for a 4.0, I might add. But yeah, I didn't expect to pick this one up. I saw it and I was like, oh, this is pretty cheap. Well, let me pick it up. So glad I did. All right, now for the very last book. Now, I've been meeting my quota when it comes to my 2025 want list, for sure. Got a couple EC upgrades, as you can see, and there'll be more by the end of the week. I got a couple new Atlas books and a couple Atlas upgrades. That was also on my list. But this was, I believe this was number 2 on my list. So here we have one of my big purchases for this year, and brand new to my collection. We have Astonishing number 30. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too long about this because if you don't know anything about it, which I would imagine most of you watching don't, because let's face it, most of you are probably superhero fans, which is fine. I'm a superhero fan too, right? But this book has spiked over the last few years. A Joe Maneely cover. You've heard me mention that name a couple of times in this video and on my channel. Joe Maneely has done a lot of great work for Atlas, including the Mystic 28, the Adventures into Weird Worlds 29 that was in this video, and I think also one of the Mystics, the other Mystics, I don't remember. But anyway, this is another famous Maneely cover where the alien eyes, I assume those are alien eyes, are melting this guy on the cover. It's always been a fan favorite for the pre-code horror fans, but within the last few years has gotten very expensive. Now, I got a 3.0, and you know, one day I'd like to upgrade it to a 4.0. It's like one of those, you know, where you have to move up slowly with this one. I can't. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man 11. I had a 4.0 and then I went to a 6.0, which is nothing. You know, I should have went up to an 8.0 with that one, and maybe I will. And even with Black Panther 52, where it's like, well, you know, it's a couple $100 to upgrade. If you want to go from a 3.0 to a 3.5 with this, it's probably going to cost you, well, at the time of this video, things change. It's probably going to cost you well over $1,500, $1,800. So it's a big deal, yeah. But very cool for the pre-code horror fan. Well, thank you for watching Comic Book Haul number 60. You know, 60 must be a milestone. Not really. I've been on YouTube now for almost 11 years, and I don't know. We'll see what happens as time goes on. As I mentioned previously, I don't make videos as often because I just simply don't have the time. But I'll try to make them when I can, and I hope you'll tune in and watch. Thank you for watching this video, everybody. Take care.